Hello everybody and welcome back to Gaming Unscripted. This is Rob, and today I'm continuing our playthrough of Castlevania 3 Dracula's Curse. Last episode we got our hands on a new companion and lost another one. So Grant is no longer with us, and instead we have Alucard, who, as you can see, I'm still struggling to figure out exactly how to use properly. Now, for convenience, and because this game is really hard and I've had to restart from multiple continues, I am once again voicing over this episode after the fact, so my commentary here is, of course, still very unscripted, but it's not live. It was just, I tried. It's impossible to play this particular game, at least, and have any sort of coherent conversation with a microphone. Yeah, without dying a lot. And I mean, even when I didn't, I died a lot. I left a few deaths in just so it wouldn't seem too artificial, but you have to understand that what you're seeing now is probably my 12th or 13th attempt, and I'm pretty sure that this isn't even the one that I was successful on. Man, I hate those slimes. They move in such an irregular pattern, and at least with Alucard, they are really hard to hit. It also seems that his move set there, his fireball, is not quite as powerful. Even when it's completely charged up, it's not quite as powerful as Trevor's whip. I think that Alucard's fire... And we died again. I think that Alucard's fire can hit multiple times because he fires up to 3 blasts at once you get him powered up. But if you're not hitting with all of them, then it's not as powerful as Trevor's whip. And because most of the enemies aren't big enough to take all 3 fireballs at once, if you're doing straight damage, if you're looking for the most damage per individual hit, Trevor is stronger than Alucard. Alright, so we made a little bit of progress here. Yeah, see, the mummies die so much quicker. I think those are mummies. Oh, cool. Power up. Get out of my way, skeleton. Okay, so that's done with. In this next section here, I decided to take the top path because I tried the bottom path and ended up having to restart my entire game. Maybe it's because I just couldn't handle it, but that level down the bottom path is brutal. It's really long. There's a lot of water. And I couldn't find a good strategy for the boss that worked for me. I don't know if I missed any optional characters. I don't think I did, but... Alright. So this boss... Just kind of gathering my thoughts there. This boss took me, I would say, 15 tries. And finally here, you can see I got him in a position where I was hitting him and destroying his little bone that floats around there in such a way that he wasn't moving forward towards me. He was just repeatedly casting that ability, which gave me an opening to kill him without taking any damage. But it took me well over a dozen tries to be able to get that lucky, and I call it lucky. I don't think that there was any particular skill to being able to do that. I was lucky enough that he didn't move forward and attack me. So we're finally at Dracula's castle now. We're off to a fantastic start. Just great, yep. Beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah, Alucard really comes in handy there. I don't remember how many tries it took me to get through this place. I'll just tell you one thing, it was an editing nightmare. Having to watch like 2.5 hours worth of footage just to cut down this, I don't know, almost 30-minute video. 2 hours worth of footage. Yeah, I'm not saying I'm good at this game, but it's not an easy game. I mean, Castlevania games by nature have some of the jankiest, stiffest controls I can think of. What I actually did here was sort through all the clips and just edit together the pieces that showed me completing it as smoothly as possible. It's been a long time since I played a game that frustrated me as much as this one. Like, it really brings meaning and flashbacks to why Nintendo games were, like, considered to be so difficult. Now, I am totally okay with a challenge, but this game has some of the most unfair challenges that I have ever encountered. If you touch those spikes, by the way, it is instant death. It doesn't matter how much. If you jump into them by accident, brush against the side of them as you're jumping onto that platform back there, you just get wrecked. I will have that pork chop. Ooh, look at me getting a little cheeky here. Alright. I think I actually beat this guy on my first try. I might have died once. Yeah, I think maybe I died once, but I definitely beat him without having to continue. He's one of the easier bosses because he doesn't appear to have any real direct attacks other than that brick throw. Most of his abilities were pretty easy to dodge, and because Alucard's attack hits in a big wide spread, I didn't have to be particularly accurate with my attacks. But it only gets harder, right? Okay, on to phase 2. Looks like this area has a mid-boss and a final boss. These guys are new. Just by the music of this place, I'm already under the impression I'm not going to like it. Took me a couple of minutes to figure out the best way to go about beating this part because I didn't realize the dripping at the top that was melting those blocks. So I kept trying to jump across like a jackass, so I wasn't paying attention, and getting myself killed because you can't make that jump. The ceiling's too low. I mean, maybe you can, but I couldn't make the jump. I eventually realized right around here what was happening. Probably could have fast forwarded this part of the video, but it didn't take that long. I don't know what I'd do if I didn't have Alucard, though. I mean, throughout now to the end of the game, I developed an absolute love-hate relationship for this character. There are times when I'm just exasperated with how little damage he does. And probably mainly due to the game's inherent control problems and how stiff everything is. And there are also times when I step back and I look at what I just had to get through, and I wonder how exactly you're supposed to do that if you don't get Alucard. We had a boss yet? No? I guess maybe that's the first door? So, first or second? Got a little ways to go yet. Oh. Yeah, see, if you didn't have Alucard, you'd have to wait there dodging those bricks and enemies until it lifted you up enough. Oh, stupid stairs. Stupid slimes, gosh. I really hope that this midway boss is easy. Yeah, I tried to get him from up top there. I think he did eventually back up. Oh, yeah, I remember now. Two of them appeared. I'm looking desperately for a pork chop here. Because there's the boss. It's another one of those bats. I could probably take him out. That's what I was thinking to myself. Stood here for a couple minutes contemplating whether I should just die. So last time I fought one of these I had Grant and I ended up switching back to Trevor, but look at that. Alucard just wastes him. It's a shame that it's not really the stage end boss, so you don't get your health back or anything. And then it just plops you out with these bricks falling. You know what? I edited that there. That was the easiest time I had fighting the bat. But I never managed to get to him with any more health. And then I died immediately after beating him there when I got to this part. And so just everything here was timing. And then this part with the stupid spiders. It was just like one thing after another. I tried climbing the bricks in the falling brick area, and then that didn't work. So I eventually just gave up and flew up with Alucard. And then I got to the section with the spiders and immediately died and had to do that section all the way over again. And then if you die and go back to continue, you have to fight your way all the way through the bat all over again. And all I'm gonna say is that this level sucked. Freaking Medusa heads. Gotta just like creep forward so you don't fly right into them. Look at that one trying to take me out right before the door. Man, this place is cheeky. Maybe Trevor could do a better job here. These armored guys don't do Alucard any favors. And oh, of course, the screen. Yeah, I totally forgot about that. The screen starts to scroll so you can't see what's off screen. Stairs in these games are death traps. Because you get stuck on them. And unlike Trevor, Alucard can't even attack while he's on the stairs. Finally get past that part. Just to get up here and have to deal with one of these jerks. Oh, thank you, pork chop. I was so overjoyed when I got that. Here we are at one of my least favorite boss encounters in the entire game. This boss took me a ludicrous amount of times to beat. And even then, I could never figure out how to beat these mummies without just getting my ass handed to me. So, at the end, I was eventually completely frustrated and forced to beat this is a 3-part boss with only 1 hit point of health left. And this Cyclops guy, if you don't stay right on top of him and get him to spam his hammer ability like this, and you have to hit him right in the face, if you don't sit on him like this, then he does this move where he charges towards you. And he's like 2 or 3 times faster than Trevor. There's no avoiding him. You don't outrun the guy. And when you only have 1 hit's worth of health left, it's ridiculous. Some goat demon. This guy was a frustrating mess. But at least there's a strategy to him. And we got a 1-up. Almost to the end now. Alright, everybody. I think I'm gonna call this episode here. Stay tuned next time for more Castlevania 3 Dracula's Curse. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Click that thumbs up button if you like the video. Subscribe if you want to be notified when we release new content. That's almost on a daily basis. Make sure you follow us on Facebook and Twitter if you like to communicate that way. Leave your comments below. Happy to read them and hopefully respond to some of them. And remember, until next time, don't touch that pixel.